Hey guys, you're welcome back to my channel today. Thank you so much for stopping by. In this video, we'll be drafting a 2-in-1 pants pattern. So you can use this pattern to cut out your palazzo pants and to cut out a straight pant. So if you're interested, keep on watching and let's get started. My pant is going to have a 2 inches band. So before I start placing my point, I'll go ahead and take out the 2 inches and then replace it with my band, okay? So I'll take out 2 inches. The first point I'll now take is the distance from my waist to my hip. Go ahead and measure yourself. Mine is 8 inches. I'm going to mark 8 inches like this, okay, and I'm going to rule a straight line across. After doing that, I'll label the line my hip. The next point I'll take is my crotch line. So a video is going to be displaying on the screen on how I got my own crotch line, which is always accurate for me. There are other ways you can get your crotch line. After placing my tape, okay, between my legs to my back, whatever I have, I'm going to divide it by 2. So after doing that, I got 24 inches. 24 divided by 2 is 12 inches, okay? So I marked out the 12 inches and I labeled the line my crotch line. So take note that I'm taking out my 2 inches for the band before placing all these measurements. So I'm going to go down from the crotch line by 2 inches, which is going to be my tie line. Okay, I normally go down by 4 inches for my tie line when making a palazzo pant, but this is a free pant, so I'm using 2 inches. I went ahead to also rule a straight line across the point and I labeled it my tie line. The next thing is to determine the length of your pants. So right now I'm taking 40 inches, which is going to be the length of my pants, and I left 1.5 inches for my folding allowance. Okay, so these are all the points. The next thing I'm going to do is to place my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 1 inch on my waistline. Okay, so whatever your hip circumference divided by 4 is, go ahead and add 1 inch for ease. Okay, I'll place the same measurements on the waistline, on the hip line, and on the crotch line. So the measurement I have there is my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 1 inch. After doing that, I'm going to connect the 3 dots into a straight line. I've gone ahead to do that and this is what I have. What I'll do now is to get my crotch extension line. To do that, I'm going to place my tape on the crotch line and I'll divide what I have there into 4. After doing that, guys, what I had was 2.5 inches. So I'm going to approximate it, okay, and make it 3 inches. If you're on a bigger side, go ahead and add half an inch to whatever you have, okay. I'm adding half an inch to mine, but you don't have to do it, okay. So I'm going to place it after the crotch, after the measurement that I have on the crotch line, okay. After that straight line was where I placed these 3 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler to connect from that point to meet the hip line like this, okay. I did the first curve, I didn't like it, so I went inward, okay, to make it a little bit deeper. After doing that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and place my waist circumference divided by 4. So I'm placing the measurement backwards from the crotch line. As you can see, I'll place my waist circumference divided by 4. I'm going to add 1 inch for that and I'll add 1 inch for my stitching allowance. After doing that, I'll connect from the waistline to meet the hip line like this. So guys, since this is a fitted pants, I want to divide my pattern paper into 2. To do that, I'm placing my tape on my crotch line and I'm going to divide everything that I have there into 2. So what I have on this crotch line is 13 inches. I'm going to fold my tape into 2 to find the middle point and I'm going to use my marker to mark the middle point. After doing that, guys, this is what I have. I'm going to now mark the middle point all the way to the end of this pattern paper, okay. So I'm placing my tape at 13 inches on the side of the pattern paper that is facing me, okay. That is how I'm getting the middle point. Make sure that one side of the pattern paper is straight, okay. So the side facing me is straight, so my 13 inches is on that mark, okay. So I'm marking the 13 inches all the way to the pant length. After doing that, I'm going to connect all the dots into a straight line. So I've successfully divided my pattern paper into 2 equal halves. So I'm going to go ahead and start placing my measurements. So I'll start with the tie line. I'm going to place my tie circumference divided by 2 on that line. To do that, I'm going to divide my round tie into 2. So my round tie measurement is 21 inches. 21 divided by 2 is 5.5 inches. So I'm going to share the 5.5 inches on the two sides of this straight line. So as you can see, I'm using my tape rule to divide the 10.5 inches. So it's giving me 5¼ inch on both sides of this straight line. So I'm going to place my tape like this, and I'll take 5¼ inch to the left and 5¼ inch to the right. So this straight line is like a guide for me to get my tie measurements. I don't know if you understand. So from that point, I connected from the crotch line, okay, to meet the measurement that I just took on the tie line, as you can see. So go ahead and blend the hip line in case there is any sharp edge there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to take my knee point. So you should do this before you even start placing your measurements. So from my waist to my hip is 22 inches. I'll go ahead and mark the 22 inches and I'll rule a straight line across. After doing that, guys, I'm going to now divide my knee circumference. Okay, my knee circumference is 13 inches. Okay, so 13 divided by 2 is 6.5 inches. So I'll divide the 6.5 inches on both sides of this straight line. I hope you guys are following. So 6.5 inches divided by 2 is 3.25. So as you can see, I'm using my tape to get the measurement. So after doing that, I'm going to place my tape on the side facing me. I'll take 3.25 inches, and on the other side I'll take 3.25 inches. 3.25 inches plus 3.25 inches is 6.5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to now connect from the tie line to meet the knee line, as you can see me doing. After doing that, on my pant length, I'm going to go ahead and place my round ankle circumference divided by 2. So my round ankle circumference is 10 inches. 10 divided by 2 is 5 inches. So I'm going to take 2.5 inches, which is half of 5 inches, 2.5 inches on both sides of the straight line, and I'm going to connect like this, as you can see me doing. Okay, so everything that I have here is divided by 2, and this straight line on the middle served as a guide for us to get everything equally. Okay, after connecting, this is what I have. So you can see the sharp edge that I have on the knee line. What I'll do is to just place my ruler and I'll blend it. Okay, so if you notice any sharp edge, go ahead and blend it a little. Okay, just so it's easier for you to stitch. Okay, I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. If you also have any sharp edge on the hip area, go ahead and also blend it. After blending, guys, this is what I have. Guys, like I mentioned earlier, this is a 2-in-1 pattern. So this pattern that we've just drafted is for our fitted pants. Okay, so we are going to now open this up. We're going to alter this to get our palazzo pattern. So what I'll do is to go out on the base, okay, on the length of my pants. It depends on how free you want your palazzo pant to be. Right now I'm taking 2 inches. Okay, after the fitted pant line, I'm taking 2 inches, so meaning I've added 4 extra inches to this front pattern. I hope you guys understand. So what I'll do is to connect from that point, as you can see me doing. You can connect all the way to meet the hip line. If you don't want the hip line to be fitted as a palazzo pant, go ahead and also connect all the way there and add your allowance. But I want my own hip part, even as a palazzo pant, I want the hip part to be fitted. Okay, on this other end also, you can see me connecting all the way, okay, to meet my crotch line, just like this. After doing that, guys, this is what I have. Okay, so from this pattern you get your palazzo pants. From this pattern you also get your fitted pants. Okay, so guys, I went ahead to just label the 2 inches, which is the palazzo extension, and I'm going ahead to cut. Okay, so after cutting, make sure you're cutting on the extension line. Okay, after cutting, this is what I have, guys. So once I fold in the 2 inches on both sides, you can see that we have our fitted pants. So just go ahead and fold it inward. If you want to sew a fitted pants, go ahead and just fold in these 2 inches or whatever inches. The 2 inches is not the standard. You can go out by 3 inches, 4 inches, 1.5 inches, depending on how free you want your palazzo pant to be. Okay, after folding everything in place, guys, this is what I have. Okay, so this is our fitted pants. We'll be using this pattern to now draft out the back of the fitted pants. Okay, so I'm bringing in another pattern paper, and this one is about 2 inches longer than the front pattern paper, and I left the 2 inches on the waist area. The first thing I'll do is to extend this crotch line. Okay, I went ahead to extend it just so the two crotch line is sitting together. After doing that, I'm going to extend the crotch area, that's the waistline. I'll extend it by 1.5 inches. If you are on a bigger side, you can do 2 inches or 2.5 inches. So guys, next thing I'll do is to extend my crotch line. As you can see, remember the back crotch line and the front crotch line is not supposed to be the same. Okay, so on this crotch line I am extending by another 3 inches. Okay, just like I did for the front. So you can extend by 2 inches, 1.5 inches, depending on how big you are. Okay, so I'm going to now connect like this. So I extended the back by 1.5 inches too, because I'll be sewing my zipper at the back, and this is also where our bum will be sitting. Okay, that is why the back crotch and that of the front is not always the same. So guys, for the leg of the pants, I'll just be adding 1.5 inches too. Okay, you don't have to add 1.5 inches, you can just do half an inch. So we didn't really add a stitching allowance to the front pattern, so the back is going to carry the stitching allowance. Okay, so you can do 1 inch, you can do half an inch. Okay, so what I'll do now is to place my waist measurement for the back. Remember, we have already extended the waistline by 1.5 inches. So from this new 1.5 inches, I marked out the same measurement that I have on the front waist, which is 8 inches. Okay, so I'm going to connect in a slant. This is not a straight line, I'm slanting to meet the 8 inches mark that I just made. Okay, so you guys can see that the waistline is no longer sitting together because of this 1.5 inches extension. So what I'll do is to raise this front pattern up. Okay, before I do that, I'll mark my hip line on this new pattern paper. I'll just mark it with a dot just so I know where the hip is. So I'll connect from this new waistline to meet the hip, as you can see. Okay, after doing that, I'll make sure I have the 8 inches on this waistline, which is the same 8 inches that I have on the front pattern. Okay, so after doing that, go ahead and blend it in place. In case there is any sharp edge, you can go ahead and blend. Okay, and you can add, if you have enough pattern paper, you can add your stitching allowance to the hip area. If not, you can do that on your fabric. And on this other end, I just added 1 inch. Okay, which is going to serve as my stitching allowance for the leg of the pants. I added 1 inch. After doing that, I'm going to extend for the palazzo just like I did before. I'm going out by 2 inches on both sides, meaning I've added 4 extra inches for the palazzo. So I'll go ahead and connect like this, as you can see me doing. On this other side, I'll also connect to meet the crotch line like this. After doing that, guys, this is what I have. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to cut. So just pay close attention so you know where to cut. So I'm cutting on the palazzo line, and for the waistline, I'm cutting the new waistline for the back. Okay, after cutting, this is what I have. So we have our front and our back pattern. The next thing I'll do is to take in my dart. So from this crotch area, I'll go in by half of my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4 inches. I'll indicate the 4 inches with a dot. On that dot, I'll go down by 3 inches, which is going to be the length of my front dart, and I'll connect the 2 dots into a straight line. After doing that, I'll take half an inch on both sides. Remember, I left 1 inch for my dart, so I'll take half an inch on both sides of the straight line, and I'll connect to meet the dart leg. Okay, after doing that, this is the front dart. I'm going to go ahead and also take the back dart. Okay, so the only difference between the front and the back dart is that the back dart is about 4 inches long, while the front dart is 3 inches long. So I'm going inward by 4 inches, and I'll take half an inch on both sides, and I'll connect. After connecting, I'll label my back pattern. Okay, So guys, I'm going to remove my paint, okay, and I'm going to fold in the palazzo extension for the back. Okay, so we have our fitted pants. If you want to use it for a palazzo pants, go ahead and also cut it out as a palazzo pants, but this is a fitted pants. This is our back pattern. The last thing I'm going to do, guys, is to cut my pocket. Okay, so in case you want to add a pocket to your pants, we're going to cut our pocket on paper before you transfer it to your fabric. Okay, so what I'll do is to bring in my pattern paper, which is folded into two. Go ahead and determine the length of your pocket. Okay, so for this one, the length of my pocket is going to be 10 inches and the wideness is 8 inches on fold, meaning if I open it up, it's going to be 16 inches, as you can see. So what I'll do is to mark my pockets, the depth of my pockets on the waist area of the pants. Okay, so from the hip area, I'll come in by 2 inches, which is how wide the pocket is going to be, and I'm going to go down by 6 inches, which is how long the pocket is going to be. So I'll connect from the 2 inches, as you can see, in a slant to meet the 6 inches like this. After doing that, I'll bring back the pattern for the pocket and I'm going to place them together like this, and then I'm going to cut out these slants. Okay, I'll cut it together. I just cut one part of the pocket, the other part I didn't cut it, so I'm just going to trim the side, as you can see me doing. So guys, the next thing I'll do is to adjust the waistline. Okay, so remember I measured 2 inches and then I cut it out on the waistline, and we want this waistline to be accurate, so I'll cut off the excess pattern paper that I have on this waistline. Okay, I'll blend it inward like this and I'll trim it out, because the measurement we have on our waistline is 8 inches, so I made sure I still have the 8 inches there. After doing that, guys, this is our pocket. Okay, so go ahead and place your pattern on your fabric depending on the type of pants you want to sew, be it palazzo or a fitted pants. Go ahead and cut and sew. So in my next tutorial, we'll be sewing a palazzo pants. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your questions in the comment section. I'll see you in